Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world, to the world away, and we have now got a round number, issue 80 of Eagle Moss's Build the Delorean. Okay, this is basically going to be an exact mirror of issue 78. What we're going to be doing, let's just show you quickly in the instructions, is putting some details on this panel right here, which I'll take off in a second. All of these details on, and attaching this to the actual vehicle. Bearing in mind, some of these parts, like I mentioned last time, they have got numbers on. So like this is R1, and this is R2. They've all got different numbers, so we must make sure that we put the right ones on when we do that. As you can see on the side camera here, this is already attached to the door here, but it's not actually attached as in, you know, screwed in or anything, so you can take it off. But this is going to be the part that we're actually going to be starting to work with. So first thing, we've got, sorry, let's talk about the screws again. We've got LPDM, IP and AP screws. The first lot of screws I'm going to be using the AP, so I'll get some of them out already. I haven't got to go to my little stocks to see what's in there. Okay, so step one, the first thing we're going to be doing is putting this little black section here on the unit here. If you have a look, there's a little, it goes up a little bit at the lip. That's because of the little bit there around the rim of the wheel there. So that's how you can tell what way you're putting that on. That's just going to be sitting on like that, and that's going to be secured with AP screws. So I've got my AP screw loaded up. Let's get the first one of these in. 2 screws this is going to take. So that's the first one in. You know what, I'm just going to change my screwdriver. I've got a funny feeling that screwdriver's getting a little bit worn out. I've been using them a lot. I might have to get another one soon. And let's put the second one in. So putting the screws in is just basically step 2. And then once that's done, it's going to look just like that. Okay, next stage, we've got a smaller one, which is this little one here. And again, as you can see, the lip, it just sort of lifts up at the other side. That's how you can tell that that's the side that's going to go nearer to the frame here. That's just going to fit in just like that, and that's step 3. Once again, this is going to be secured with AP screws. If you have to have the most popular screw in this build, it's got to be the AP. I must have about 100 of them now. Big time. So let's get that one in as well. This is an exact mirror of the other, as I said, of issue 78 we done. I think the hardest thing to do on that issue was the attaching this to the actual body of the vehicle. As you can see, the car is upside down here, ready for me to start putting this on, and I'll show you the way that I do that. You could, there we go, that's what that looks like. You could pre-bore the holes, but I like my way of doing it. I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so that one's in. That was step 4. And the step 5, we've got this red piece now. Now, from what I learned last time, this red piece is exactly symmetrical. Although it has got, let me try and show you, a little bit of an angle on the units there. So what I think's best is if you put it in and see what way it looks best. I'm going to put it in both ways and just have a look. See, you know what? It really doesn't make a difference, but I do like it that way. I don't know why. It doesn't really make a difference to me. But these don't use AP screws. These ones use IP screws, and this is step 6. So I'm going to get a few of these IPs out. The IP seems to be a little bit smaller and thinner by the look of it, but I've got one out so far. We'll turn that around. All I'm doing is holding it with my finger there so that it enables me to put this in quite easy. I say that, and then it's quite hard to screw in, but that's one in. You don't want to put this too much. Don't screw this one too hard, because this is quite brittle plastic. Unlike that black plastic we just put in, the coloured plastic I can see breaking quite easily if you over tighten this. So this is the second one going in, and then I don't know what you'd be doing. You'd be gluing them on, I guess. Okay, so there we go. That's that bit on. And then the last bit we've got to do, which is step 9 and 10, this is going to be secured with an IP screw as well, is this little tiny piece here. Now this one can only go in one way, because if you put it in the wrong way, it's going to overdo the ledge there. So I'm going to just try and push it in and have a look. You see it's got a little lip on it. That means that's in the wrong way. So let's try it the other way and see if it looks better the other way around. It's got a little shape, so you can only really put it in one way, but when you do, it will fit nice and flush, just like that. I'm going to load an IP screw up and we'll get this one in. This is the hardest one to put in, I think, because it's only one screw that's holding it. I think it's going to have the it's going to try and turn in your hand. That's why I'm pushing it really hard, doing the screw really slow. But there we go. And that's it. That's all of those little bits on there. That's excellent. That was up to step 8. Now step 9, we're going to start putting these brackets on here, just like this one here. Now the one it wants us to use is the one that says RR5. So I'm going to have to look at them all. That's R1, R2. It's going to be the last one, isn't it? R4. R3 it was the last one. R5. And these ones are going to be secured with AP screws, which I've already got out. Now the first one is going just under the bottom, just here. And the way they go is you've got 2 holes here. One looks slightly bigger than the other. The way it goes is that, let's have a look. On this side here, this hole here is going to be the one that the screw's going into. So where, as you can see, that's got a little peg. You want to put that in the middle one. So the screw's going to be going into the other side. So if I hold that, turn it round, the screw's going to be going in the one to this side here. Now this is where you're going to need about 8 pairs of hands. So, but I'll try and get this in, because it does want to rotate round. Oops, can't even load the my screwdriver up because I'm holding it. And I don't think this is going to go in right first time, because I don't think I've got this lined up, but we can see. Ah, there we go. Now, from what I remember last time, is do it really slow. Take your time on this and it won't move in your hand. So that we go. And then that works absolutely perfectly there. That was step 10. So step 11 was showing us where we've got to put RR3, RR4 and RR2. So I think we'll do RR2 first, because that's the one that's going... oh, let's have a look at this design again. RR2 is the one that's going this side here, towards this black thing here. So let's try and find RR2. Is it going to be the last one I pick up again? No, I've got it this time. Right, now the screw for this one is going in the hole which is nearer the top of the unit there. Sorry, at the top of the unit here. This is where RR2 is going, which means the little peg here is going to go into the bottom hole. So we'll put that in the bottom hole like that. Again, it's going to be secured with an AP screw. As a matter of fact, all of these are AP screws. So we'll get this one in. So I'm going to revolve it round, hold it quite tight with my hand there. And then, oh, and it's going to fall out. This is tricky. Tricky. Right. Put that in and we'll get the screw in here. And again, nice and slow to get this one in. There we go. That's RR2 in. Nice and straight. Next one on the other side here is RR3. So I'm looking at all my bits again. There's RR3, exactly the same. We're going to be putting that in at the bottom, and we're going to put the screw in at the top one here. Load me screw up. Whoops. Look at this, I haven't had to cut away yet. Touch wood. Nothing's gone wrong yet. What's wrong with me? That's because I was building an R2 earlier on, and I've had all the experience and all the errors in the R2 build. So I won't get it. You know it's going to have problems when I try and attach this to the vehicle. Okay, so that's that one in. And the next one is the RR4, which is that one here, RR4. And that's basically going to be going into just this little bit here, at quite an angle. The RR4 one, just having a look, it's going to be secured in to the one... okay, let's try and figure this one out. It's going to be going in this way. So the peg is going into the hole just to the edge of the red section there. Just like that. So then when I turn that over, I haven't got an AP screw out at the moment. When I turn that out, obviously the screw can only go into the other one as well. So the screw for this one is going to be going into the one just above that screw there. Like this. Just like that. Can you see what I'm putting that in there? Nice and slow. And that's it. That's those 4 in. And that's all done. So now step 14, we're just going to put that to one side because we were working on this, because we want to attach this piece now to this piece here. This can only go in one way as well, because you want this to be central. So the peg is going to be going on the outside hole, which means that we're going to be screwing it onto the inside. Make sure you're doing this around the right way as well. So this is the way that it's going to be going. Just like that. So when we turn it around, we're going to be putting a screw right in the centre there. Now the screw that we have to put these in is an LP screw, so it's a different screw again. So I've got an LP out. I'll load that up. And again, you're going to need 2 pairs of hands for this to try and get this in. So that goes in like, oh, I'll get in there. That goes in like that. And then we put a screw in this side here. So, I'm going to do this nice and slow. I can feel it biting, so that's a good sign. And that is basically step 13 done. And there's that bit attached there. And then step 14, we're going to be putting this just in the section of where it goes here on the vehicle, which is step 14. Just like that. And then that's going to be screwed in with AP screws again. So I'll get my AP out. They do like their AP screws in this build, don't they? Now these, if I remember right, these don't go in straight down. They go in slightly at an angle. I'm not good at angles, so I reckon 3 degrees. Perhaps 3 degrees the angle. I don't know. But it is seen to be securing fine. I'll try not to put this, as you noticed, I haven't put a cloth on this like I normally do. So I don't want to go and break it. Okay, and then that's in. So that's basically step 14. And now all we're going to do is we're going to be putting this onto the vehicle. Now we'll muck around with the cameras now, just so I can line this up. But if I bring this across, oh, I've already got it on a towel here, you see, so I'm not going to damage it. And look at the cameras, what camera can see. Probably this one here. We're going to be attaching it onto the inside of the vehicle just here. But what I'll do is I'll line up a camera so you can see this, and then we'll get this attached. Okay, that's probably the best camera I'm going to have on the side there. We're going to put this piece in now. It fits in easy enough. That's the easiest bit of just slotting it in where it goes. But this is going to be using DM screws. It's attached with 4 DM screws. I'm just going to open these DM screws up, and I'm going to show you where they connect to and how I put these in. Okay, so the first screw, well, actually they connect to one here. Just having a look myself. One down the bottom here, one on this side, and then the same down the bottom there. So I think the first one I'm going to put in is probably the one on this side here, which is just this one up here. Now, the way I do it is I put this in with my magnetic screwdriver here, and just start it off nice and slow, making sure, because it's not at the moment, that it is in straight. Oh, and as you can see, it's just come off. Now I'm holding this at the back for the minute, just to start that screw off, and then I'm going to get my big screw onto it, which means I'm going to be putting a lot of pressure on it now. So, let's get this in. Okay, that's one in. Let's do the next one. The next screw going in the far side here into this hole just up the top here. Again, I'm just going to put it in gently. Not all in the way. And then I'll get my big screw out. And once again, I'm going to try and get around it here and put this one in. And I really am pushing it hard so I don't round this head. It's probably best to use my left hand actually. We'll get this in nice and slow. Here's going in, but you do need to take your time. I'm not going to put it all the way in for the minute because you can see it's just hanging there at the moment. I want to get those other screws in so that it doesn't warp or anything like that. So the third screw is going in this hole just down the bottom here. Hopefully with all that moving around, you can still see what I'm doing here. Okay, that's that one in. And we'll tighten this one up. Excellent. And last but not least, the last one we're going to be putting in here is this one just down there. So I'll load this screw up, put that in, I'm being very slow with these, as you notice, because I'm trying to get these in so that they're not warping or they're going in at strange, funny angles and stuff like that. But that's pretty much in. I'm just going to tighten all the screws up now. And there you go. That is all of those pieces in. Let's just show you that there. And what I'll do is I'll take a picture of a couple of these so you can see the different angles and you can see how that looks. What do you reckon? Now that is all the plates on the vehicle. There is no more framework to put on this vehicle. I think it looks really good. Really happy with that. And I think that is probably the hardest bit of the build, just putting all those plates on. If you've got any warped issues, as in the chassis warped or some of these pieces are warped, you're going to have a bad time with that. And as you can probably hear, I'm out of breath doing that. But that was issue 80. Now, issue 81, we're going to start doing the engine surround for the vehicle. That's the bit that's going to be going in this area here. And I'm sure that you want to see what this looks like on the vehicle. So let's show you a picture of that now. And that's it until next Thursday. So I hope you like that video. Take care.